So we're now hearing that there are a number of House members, Republicans and Republican senators, who are shocked at some of the names that Trump is putting out there and nominating for his cabinet and his top advisors. We now know that a lot of MAGA think that if you get rid of Obamacare, they're still okay because they're on the exchanges. They don't they don't know that the Affordable Care Act is Obamacare, so they think they're okay because that's where they got their insurance. So yeah, there's a reason why Trump likes the poorly educated. What did they think he was doing? Did they think that he didn't mean what he said? And I'm talking now about these Republicans in Congress, in the House and Senate, that are acting so surprised. He's doing what he said he was going to do, and he's bent on revenge. So a lot of this is he puts these people out as a shield. He wants to shock people. He wants to hurt the country. Trump thinks that this country owes him. Trump hates this country. Hates this country. He thinks Americans are mean to him, and he's going to be like the movie Carrie. The original one, in the 70s when I was young, that I saw how she just burned the place down out of her anger and her hatred. The difference is she had reason to be. Trump does not. But he's using the power of the presidency and the power of Putin behind him to do this. And it is all about revenge and destruction. There's absolutely no way that Donald Trump thinks that Matt Gaetz is the best person or even a good person to be Attorney General and to run DOJ. Our own Merrick Garland, should have put Matt Gaetz behind bars and Trump. And now here Matt Gaetz is going to be the one to replace him. That is just beyond comprehension. But I also think that this is Trump kind of wanting to rub our noses in the fact that Merrick Garland never laid a glove on him, which is why he never criticized him. So Matt Gaetz is a slightly worse pick than Merrick Garland for AG. I'll just say that it's that bad, it's that disastrous. Our media and Merrick Garland did this. I'm going to repeat that over and over and over again because people are coming up with a lot of analysis that says otherwise. But some of the stuff they say, while true, all kind of flows from the media's failure and their complicity because they need Trump. They're hooked on Trump. They just can't quit him. And Merrick Garland. So Trump is putting forth people that Putin wants him to have. Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian spy. Full stop. I mean, she's been on watch lists. And he's doing this. He doesn't think she'd be the best DNI, Director of National Intelligence, but this is what Putin wants. And I think that there's also something to Trump doing that thing that Putin does where you want to rub people's noses in it. You want to show what you can do. When Putin had our 7 Republican senators, our MAGA senators, over to Moscow on the 4th of July, our Independence Day, he was doing that to kind of show off to the rest of the world that he was controlling Republican elected officials in the United States. And I think there's some of that going on now with Trump. He wants to show Congress that he will ruin them, and Elon Musk is helping him. They're terrified of him. So if they dare question Matt Gaetz and Tulsi Gabbard, he'll throw his weight around. And he's got Elon Musk there, whether he wants him there or not, doing Putin's bidding as sort of his babysitter. So, or his overseer, I think is more like it. And they're doing that out in the open and very blatantly, again, to kind of thump their chests and show what they can get away with. While we complain and we'll have, Susan Collins she really doesn't like that Matt Gaetz choice. But good and goddamn well that if there is a confirmation hearing, and there may not be, that she'll vote for him. She'll fall in line. She sold her soul a long time ago. We saw that with Brett Kavanaugh. Leo Leonard owns her. So there's that. So I don't think there'll be that much pushback. I think Trump wants to show his strength early and dominate the streets. And that's what Putin had told him to do with the Black Lives Matter protests when they went out there with the tear gas, and Trump held that Bible up by the boarded up church. Right before that, he had been on the phone with Putin, and Putin said, "You have to dominate." So Trump is doing that right now with Republicans in Congress. He's doing it early. He's doing it blatantly. And Elon Musk is there to help him. So this is, again, it's going to get much worse before it gets better, if it gets better. But this is the consequences. This is one of the consequences of what MAGA has done, just to own the libs. Okay, they don't know what tariffs are. They're going to find out. We're all going to find out. I'm even thinking of, and others are thinking about hoarding some things. Preparing for it like it's a pandemic. And by the way, there could be another pandemic. Maybe a few of them, a few national health crises, if RFK Jr. is put in any kind of position to have any impact on our health policy. So these are not people that Trump thinks are the best. Remember, Russia has wanted to destroy the United States and said they could do it without firing a shot. So if you've had some doubts that about Trump taking orders from Putin, I think some of this stuff should really quell those doubts. This is happening. Trump is not getting advice from Republican senators on who he thinks would be best, or Republican House members. He's finding the absolute worst people who can do the most destruction on his behalf and on Putin's behalf, and he's ramming them through. And when you think about it, those dots connect fairly easily. So it's terrifying. But we knew this could happen. We always knew this could happen. I think that deep down we know that when he was allowed to run, when he announced that he was running for president again, and that he was only able to do so because Merrick Garland didn't do his job. I think for me anyway, that's when the stab of fear, the first one hit. I kind of thought, I think this might be over. You don't want to accept it, but that was a pretty big event, pretty defining. And in the chaos, we tend to forget what the big important things were because some are more dramatic. But that was big. Remember what I said. It'll make sense, I think, later.